Hey heroes, Cap here. I'm going to be breaking down the She-Hulk trailer that Marvel dropped. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm excited for what it means for the future of Phase 4, what to expect from the show itself, all the cameos we could get. So if you go on to like the video, be sure to Hulk smash that like button, hit the subscribe, come along for the ride for more Marvel breakdowns as we check everything and everything out. Now without further ado, let's smash into this She-Hulk trailer. First, let's start off with She-Hulk herself, otherwise known as Jennifer Walters. She gets her powers in the comics from a blood transfusion that she receives from Bruce Banner, which we do see Hulk in the trailer, although he's more of Professor Hulk, and it seems like both of his arms are fine. We'll dive into that in just a little bit. But she gets a blood transfusion after suffering from a car wreck, which we do see in the trailer. We see the car kind of spinning off onto the road down a hill, and it looks pretty bad. So definitely seems like they're sticking that very comic accurate origin story of She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters and how she gets her powers. And also looks like Bruce is going to be sticking around to help her control her powers so she doesn't Hulk smash and destroy everything whenever she has a little bit of an anger problem. This could also be how we see Professor Hulk kind of turning back into the Bruce form. Maybe he has the ability to call upon Hulk whenever he needs him and then goes back into Bruce form. But speaking of, let's talk about all the cameos in it, and let's start with Bruce himself. Last time we saw Bruce, it was at the end credit scene of Shang-Chi. You'll remember that Wong was kind of analyzing the 10 rings. He's never seen the runes that they saw in any of the codex that he has. They move, and Bruce says it doesn't look vibranium, they doesn't look like Chitauri. But when we see Bruce, he's wearing an arm sling, he's in his puny banner form, and it looks like he's still feeling the effects of the snap that he did with the gauntlet, the one that brought everybody back the first time. So it seems like this series could explain how that happened, how he's able to fix and be healed, and maybe now he's fully healed and both his hands are working. Or does this take place in the 5 years that passed during Infinity War Endgame era that this kind of happened? I guess we'll find out when the series comes out. Next cameo I want to talk about is Tim Roth returning as Emil Blonsky, better known as Abomination, a more comic accurate Abomination, which we saw a little bit of in, once again, Shang-Chi. Kind of a lot of ties to that movie all of a sudden. And now we see Emil kind of sitting in a holding cell, much similar to what you could see if you were to watch when Abomination and Wong finished their fight in Shang-Chi. They walk through the portal. You can see it in the background, the red lights, which seems to be how they kind of contain him from raging out, becoming Abomination, and breaking out. Which means this could be where we start to see Abomination becoming more anti-hero rather than super villain. And further leading us to even closer getting the Thunderbolts, or at least Marvel's iteration of the Thunderbolts, as I don't really know how they'll do that. They've kind of been interesting with it with Falcon and Winter Soldier. We've got US Agent now out there, Yelena is out there, we've got Abomination now, so we could be getting some type of iteration of the Thunderbolts, and this could show us even more in what to expect from them. Now next up, let's talk about the villain of She-Hulk, or possibly just one of them, Titania. Titania is a longtime rival of She-Hulk. Pretty much, if you have a She-Hulk comic, you have Titania at some point in their battles, consistently back and forth. She has similar powers as She-Hulk, pushing themselves to show off their super strength, agility. Now, in the comics, Titania was introduced during Secret Wars, and we all know that Secret Wars is the next big Avengers movie we're getting, or Avengers-esque movie style that we're getting, because Titania ends up working for Doom in that comic. He's the first one that she sends to go battle the likes of Thor, Rogue, Wolverine, and the X-Men, and is able to take them on. She even gets the best of She-Hulk during this run. So Titania could lead us more into the Secret Wars, drop hints of Battle World, of possibly even Doom being MCU canon, now that we've kind of seen, or at least if you've seen Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness, you kind of see the potential of Doom there as well. Now next up, one of the last cameos that we see in the trailer is a man in a goofy green outfit. You may have missed him, but this is in fact Eugene Batilio, better known as Frogman. Now, As his name given, he does have the same powers that you would expect a man named Frogman would have. However, he can jump 6 stories high, just not in a straight line. He means well, but he's a bit clumsy, so this more is a comedy aspect behind it. However, he also could hold the most for what could happen to him during this series. As in the comics, Frogman is captured at one point and is paired up with Rhino, Vulture, other animal-based villains and superpowered individuals, and is used for sport so Kraven can hunt. So maybe Marvel could start tying into the Sonyverse here, as we know we are getting a Kraven movie from them as well. He also is found to be replaced by one of the Skrull invaders for Secret Invasion, and comes back and has to go through a support group for those that were replaced with a Skrull. And it makes us wonder, could this be the point where it makes us question who is Skrull, who is not? Do we really have to start questioning every single hero and villain that we get, where maybe the Skrull invasion's been happening this entire time, we just are not known to it? Now finally, this is not a cameo that's in the trailer, however, he is a character that is confirmed to be in the show at some point, and that is our favorite Sorcerer Supreme, Wong. I'm very excited for him to be here. We've got Abomination, we've got the same cage that we saw him in last time with Shang-Chi, so it definitely has to have Wong at some point, and it makes sense as we see Abomination, like I said. He's been seen helping out Bruce with knowing the more mystical art style of things as they continue to explore their knowledge and share their knowledge. So it makes us wonder, what purpose does Wong serve in this series, or are we just being gifted another amazing presence of Wong on screen, because you can't have too much of Wong. I mean, he's freaking fantastic if you ask me. And I guess we won't know until August 17th when She-Hulk drops on Disney+. I'm very looking forward to this show, regardless of what people have to say about the CGI and everything. I'm very excited for it and what it could possibly mean and the connections it can make, as Phase 4 has been a little wild ride so far, and this could be the point to where we start having layers and stories start to cross over and we start to understand what is happening all together. As always, if you went on to enjoy the video, be sure to Hulk smash that like button, hit the subscribe, come along for more Marvel breakdowns. I'll continue to give you all the Marvel news I can as soon as I get it. As always, stay amazing until the next video. Bye bye.